the Marines formally discharging former Lieutenant Colonel Stuart Scheller. You remember him after he openly criticized the Biden administration's withdrawal from Afghanistan. Kurt Scheller making that announcement, writing on his Facebook, quote, this: I was released from the Marine Corps today, Thursday, December 23rd, 2021. I am filled with mixed emotions. I would like to sincerely thank the Marine Corps for forging me into a man. And from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to thank all the Marines who served, led, bled, and suffered alongside me the past 17 years, end quote. Reaction now, I'll bring in retired gunnery sergeant for the U.S. Marine Corps and Newsmax contributor Jessie Duff. Jessie, good to see you. Thanks so much for coming on. Let's just start with your reaction to the Marines discharging one of their own. And many may remember him speaking out against that botched Biden withdrawal. Remember, it cost 13 U.S. service members' lives, so many more injured. Your thoughts on the matter? Scheller discharged.
Lieutenant Colonel Scheller has done more for this country than most Americans would ever do in a lifetime. His multiple tours over to Afghanistan, he was a combatant Marine, highly decorated. I'm disappointed that it came to this, but I'm not surprised in any way, shape, or form. It's very clear when you're on active duty that you do not make public statements against your leadership, let alone your commander-in-chief. And his statements, albeit that I agreed with 150%, and he led a charge that many people rallied behind. In the end, it's against the Uniform Code of Military Justice, and he will receive a general discharge under honorable conditions. Lieutenant Colonel Scheller was fully aware of the potential of this happening, but I will go on to say, when it comes to the Marine Corps, it's the utmost of professionals. Then they toe the line when it comes to the Uniform Code of Military Justice. But what disappoints me more than anything is seeing Lieutenant Colonel Vindman get in his dress uniform, not use his chain of command, and go in front to testify against his own commander-in-chief. And we saw no reprisal, nothing happen. He was able to discharge and go off into his civilian life peacefully. I don't see where there's a consistency here with the Uniform Code of Military Justice when one can testify against his commander-in-chief without using his chain of command, and the other is being held to the standard. So it's disappointing, but I'm not surprised.
I'm glad you brought up Lieutenant Colonel Vindman on this, because I'm just curious, from your perspective, what is next for Scheller? He's discharged now. What kind of opportunities could he see?
I don't think that Lieutenant Colonel Scheller is going to have a lack of an audience at this point. He's become a public figure. He had financial support from Pipe Fitter, which is the chief Gallagher's organization. Financially, his family should be fine, but he did lose everything. He lost his family. Apparently, his wife left him also, and he did forfeit his retirement. But he is suggesting that he's going to go on the speaker circuit. He is going to be on Tucker Carlson. He's going to be on apparently many shows, and I think he's going to aggressively speak out and be a voice for the voiceless. Let's remember, 11 Marines died that day, along with a Navy corpsman and a Army soldier. And these were not combatant Marines. These were Marines that were put in a position to guard a perimeter that was very poorly secured. Our Defense Department should be ashamed at the number of deaths that happened that day. Not only that, there's a high number of people that suffered serious injury that is life debilitating. So the military right now, in my opinion, is looking as a lack of professionals and a complete Keystone Cop. And I think Lieutenant Colonel Scheller just had enough and spoke out.
Not to mention the drone strike that killed innocent lives as well. There'll be no accountability for that. That is set and closed. I've got to get your thoughts on this when we keep on the topic of discharging Marines. 169 Marines discharged so far for this, refusing to get the COVID vaccine. 66 last week alone. What impact could that have on U.S. security at home and also overseas, in your thoughts?
Yes, we're looking at potentially over 3,000 Marines that will face discharge because they were not given a religious waiver of any sort. We're looking at over 5,000 sailors and well over 3,000 soldiers. The Marine Corps has the lowest vaccination rate of all the branches of service. With that, I will say an average recruiter can recruit 24 to 30 people a year. When you start discharging 100, over 100 Marines, you're looking at least 3 to 4 years to get each recruiter trying to recruit that many. You're now just trying to get caught back up. You're talking, usually it takes a year and a half for an average Marine to even get into the fleet, meaning they go through boot camp, they go through Marine combat training, and then they go on to their technical training. There's millions of dollars that have just gone down the drain with all of the training that these Marines, and it should be also with the soldiers and the corpsmen, or I'm sorry, the sailors, it's going to be an astronomical cost, number one. Number two, it's a huge hole in our national security. When you start with discharging thousands upon thousands of military service, when less than 1% of this country even volunteers to serve, you're not looking at the huge implications of the national security impact. It's going to kick us, and it's going to kick us hard.
Mm-hmm. Interesting point, and it all wraps up to Scheller, a man who spent 17 years as an officer as well. All of that training gone. Discharge. Jessie Jane Duff, a former Marine, good to see you, or retired rather, Marine. Let me say that accurately. Merry Christmas to you. Happy New Year. Final see you.
Merry Christmas, Sean.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.